With the QI iron, we have addressed an issue that is very common amongst the game improvement, distance iron category. For years and years, the whole concept of game improvement irons was to make the face as flexible and as fast as possible, make it almost wood-like, if you will. And so with all that flexion that goes on with the face, we noticed an inherent problem, and that is cut spin, or what is known as fade bias, especially in the longer irons. And a lot of that has to do with the asymmetric shape of an iron head. That's part of the problem. When you have a longer span out on the toe area, you actually have more flexion going on. So if you think about it like a rubber band, if you have a long rubber band, it takes a while to pull it back, and then it takes a while to snap back to its original location. As opposed to a short span in the heel here, you have a short rubber band, it'd be very quick to snap back. So we have this ununiform flexion going across the face. So at TaylorMade, we wanted to address that issue because we noticed, with game improvement irons, these distance irons, yes, they're hitting the ball further, the ball's leaving the face faster. However, those toe shots, they were really leaving that face off to the ball off to the right. So we addressed the actual faces in each particular iron head. So for each head loft, the face has been uniquely designed. And a lot of that is to control that fade bias that is an inherent problem with that inconsistent face flexion. So behind every face, there are different weight areas where we control that flexion so that no matter where you hit it on the face, it's all rebounding uniformly. And so gone is that cut spin, that inherent fade bias, that's all gone now. And that's an engineering feat that we've been working on. And we're really now fixing this problem that is, pretty much rampant throughout the game improvement iron product line. So we're really excited that QI iron is addressing something very unique that a lot of manufacturers aren't really speaking about. So the first thing off the bat is the cosmetics, the looks. This is the first game improvement iron that we've applied a nickel chromium plating to in many, many years. That's been the biggest feedback, is just the looks. We sort of wanted high tech, the tech of an Apple Watch, but encased into the beauty of a Rolex. And that's really what this QI iron is really doing. So we have the nickel chromium plating. That's going to allow, for one, it's going to be more durable, it's going to last longer, it's going to keep this look going for years to come. So not only does it look great on the rack, it's going to look well throughout the years with that in that player's bag. So we've really nailed it on the looks. We wanted something that is a little bit more, toned down. We didn't want loud graphics, color flashes, anything like this. So we have this really clean, monochromatic, classy look to it. So players really love the looks. The other thing is the benefit of the feel. So inside each iron, we have what's called the echo dampening chamber. This is a material that really helps manage the sound. When you have a distance iron, inherently they want to be very loud because the faces are flexing, it's an audible chamber. So we wanted to tone that down, and that echo dampening system really allows each iron to have its own classy, muted sound, really solid feel. And the other thing is, when it comes to each iron head design, we didn't want to just make the 7 iron and then make the lofts out from there. We wanted every iron to have its unique properties, very similar to the P790 series, which everyone loves. So we decided to incorporate some of the unique design principles of P790 into this QI, one of those being flighted CG. Flighted CG is essentially determining that for each head loft, we're going to have a particular center of gravity location to help for that specific need. So whether it's a long iron, a 4 iron, a 5 iron, that's going to have that lower center of gravity to get that ball up in the air, make it easier to hit. As you get to the mid irons, that center of gravity actually starts to rise. That's something where you start to see the accuracy come into play. We understand that golfers are really going after targets at that point. And so to have a very consistent ball flight helps. And then as you transition into the 8, 9, and even into the wedge, we have the highest CG. Well, what's that doing really for us? That's making sure the ball doesn't go too high. At that point, loft is making the ball already go up high. The loft is already high. We want to make sure that that's all controlled. So the flighted CG in the lower irons, it's going to be at its highest point. That's really going to help with that pin-seeking mentality that players want, and make sure that we can control all that launch and spin. For me, it's all about, it's a blend of everything. It has the distance. Now it has not only that distance, but it has that, resolution in the longer irons. Oftentimes, a lot of customers, they get fit, they experience the 7-iron. That's really all they get to experience. And then they may purchase that set, and then they go to use it and they realize everything from the 7-iron down is great, but I'm starting to notice some inconsistencies, especially as I get towards that 5-iron, or even if they have the 4-iron, they really notice it there. So for me, it's really good to know that we're selling a complete set now. We're not just wanting the customer to experience a 7-iron, get fit on that 7-iron, see the results on that, and then go home and then realize that there's some issues with performance in the longer irons. And that's one of the things that maybe players have started to adopt towards hybrids and rescues more, is because they've given up on that 4-iron and that 5-iron just because of this issue with the inconsistent face flexion. So now that TaylorMade has addressed that, we now have an iron that you can feel confident about selling your customer into that 4-iron, into that 5-iron, and not have to feel as though it's too much club for them. So we're really excited that we've answered the call to make a complete set of irons here. And for the game improvement iron category, we're really excited about just the consistency here. It's not just distance, it's not just about easy to hit, it's about really managing every head loft for its own unique properties. And that's what we've done so well with P790. It's been such a home run for us, but we knew that there were customers that wanted just a little bit more forgiveness, but they liked that attention to detail. And that's where QI really comes into play. The other thing I'm excited for is in about a month from now, a later launch, we have the QI HL, and that is higher and lighter. That's essentially what's called like a speed package, where the components are lighter. And so that's gonna help for that slower swing speed player. They're gonna experience QI iron in a lighter overall package. It's gonna help with their club head speed, naturally getting the ball a little bit higher, a lot easier for them to hit. Speaking of which, the HL heads are actually 2 degrees weaker as well. So again, for that slower swing speed player, where launch and spin are paramount to having them hit it further, we're gonna notice that those players have more carry distance with the higher and lighter head spec. So just about a month later, we're gonna have the HL. The other thing that's nice is the HL, the only way you're gonna be able to really tell is we have a small HL in the heel of the cavity here. That's something where it's very clean, muted. It's not gonna just call out that this player needs training wheels for their irons. It's just a very subtle hit of HL right there. So it's gonna maintain that classy, clean look. So even that highest handicap player or that slower swing speed player, they're gonna be able to identify that, yes, I too have a really good looking iron. It looks just like the QI iron. So I'm excited that we really addressed all different needs, from the cosmetics to the engineering part of it, and also the feel as well. And then just the looks with this nickel chromium plating. We really have something unique here, and it fits into the segment well because it's answering a lot of customers that they want something that doesn't look loud, too aggressive, or maybe even borderline obnoxious. And so we have all the technology here for them, and something that they can really feel proud about showcasing to their friends.